Hi, and thank you so much for joining. So in the store, I found this cool wreath and I thought it looked awesome and I wanted to recreate it. So over here, I have the IKEA kind of forms, and then I have this children's sand form. And I also had this plaster of Paris that I thought would be great to kind of make the shapes kind of like star shapes. So the direction for plaster of Paris is 2 parts plaster and 1 part water. So here I am mixing everything. I think I put too much water, but nonetheless it worked and it dried up really well. So I'm just putting it aside flat on the cup, and the same thing with the IKEA ice cube tray. Over here it's already dried. It took about a day to dry. It could be less, but I just wanted to make sure it's completely dry. The little sides were easy to remove. This was my first time using the plaster of Paris and I definitely loved it. It was much harder to remove the star shape, the sea star, out of this form. I should have put oil before putting the plaster in, but nonetheless I opened it even though one of the corners kind of, fell apart, which was fine. I just glued it back with like a tacky glue that I had. And I also sanded a little bit of the star so that it's a little smoother and finer. Now for the next step, I went to the Dollarama and I got this kind of frame for the wreath, and I had a bunch of old Christmas wreaths that I didn't need, that I was about to throw out, but this was a great way to repurpose them. So I disassembled everything, and the idea was to put, because I wanted a larger, kind of like in diameter, so I put all of the wooden branches onto the metal frame, which I think worked pretty well. Now the next step was to spray paint it white. I found on a beach a bunch of driftwood, which is what I'm gonna use on top of all of this, but because they are so dark, some of the wooden branches were so dark, I also decided to spray paint them. Now, when I was looking at my wreath, I decided that the original one, the inspiration that I found in the store, was much thicker. So I decided to take another Christmas wreath that I had and repurpose it and add it to the current one. So here it is, adding it, making my new one a little bigger, a little thicker, and of course spray painting it white. The only issue I had with all of this, kind of using the metal frame and then on top of with the branches, is that some of the branches were sticking out. So I just used the glue gun and flattened it a little bit. Over here I'm going for it and I am adding the driftwoods. Here's how it looks currently. I do love the natural look of the wood, but I'm still kind of questioning if I should leave it the natural way or maybe put more white to it. So I went to the dollar store and they had these nice, gorgeous seashells. They're not seashells, they are river shells because they're nice and flat. And I love the colors and how smooth they are. For sure a great addition to this wreath. So trying it out, placing it, seeing how everything fits. I also gotten these longer shells. I love the form of them and the shape of them is really, really cool. Also trying to see how they fit. So after kind of seeing everything, putting it together, even though I do like the natural look, I decided that I wanted to be more, everything wanted to be more white. Hence I sprayed the darker seashells that I had, and I also decided to spray the driftwood, but I didn't cover it completely. I didn't soak it in white. I just covered it a little bit so that it's nice and almost like rusticy white. I think it looks really cool. So you can still see the shape of the wood, still see the color of the driftwood, but it is kind of like rusted with a nice white color. And here I am going for it and glue gunning everything together. Starting to look really cool. I have a lot of glue gun threads, little threads that are all over the place. So I'm just removing them, and here's the big reveal. So here's the $99 in the store inspiration that I found, which looks amazing. I absolutely love it. It's just that I thought that 99 was a little bit too much. And here's my design that is pretty much free, other than the Dollar Tree stuff that I purchased. I think it looks really cool. It looks kind of vintagey. It looks kind of homey and just very nice. It will be a great addition to your cottage or to just your condo. It doesn't even need to be any kind of cottage. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you try it yourself, and please subscribe, like, and share if you did. Thank you. Bye.